This is a public service announcement. I think one of the things that shows that, a person that you may have dated has a disturbance or just, may have a proclivity to being dangerous is when a person just sort of pops up at your house out of nowhere. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling men and women for many years who have experienced abuse and those who have been perpetrators of abuse and other crimes as well. I got the inspiration for this. I was watching, I saw this video of this woman. She had a Ring camera, and a man that she had went on one date with a few years ago had just sort of popped up and showed up at her house out of nowhere. And she was like, I don't remember him, but she opened up the door and things like that. And so I wanted to kind of talk about this because I do feel like this is something that happens a lot. And this could be something that a situation where you dated someone like once, or, you went out on a few dates, or whether you guys had a history of going out, but I still think the result is the same. I think people who just sort of, without contacting you or anything like that, just sort of randomly go out of their way to pop up at your doorstep, without checking with you, without seeing, making sure you're not with somebody and seeing if it was okay and things like that. To me, that shows that that person is impulsive and that there may be a disturbance there somewhere. And 3, it could possibly also mean that that person has been stalking you the whole time without you even knowing it. And so you want to be careful with that. And again, I'm not saying all cases, but in a lot of cases, when people do that, while on the surface it may seem like it's just a friendly gesture or they just kind of wanted to see him. Wow, it sort of surprised me. And that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that you're going to be surprised. They're hoping that you're going to be sort of taken aback by this. This is done intentionally, right? But it also shows that, to me, that there's sort of this, they finally became emboldened to, show up at your doorstep. And this is extra true. If you have not shared with them where you live, this person is a dangerous individual, and their whole plan for doing this is to catch you by surprise. And again, they've sort of been imagining this scenario, and all these things have been going through their head for I don't know how long. But, one of the things that I would definitely recommend is that you hold a firm boundary there. And you let that person know, no, it's not okay that you come to my house, and you need to, you don't need to just stop by, and I don't welcome just, guests coming by my house like that. But again, it shows a disturbance there. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, if you have that type of relationship with your neighbor or friends like that, I'm not talking about that. So I want to be very clear about that. I'm talking about someone that you may have dated and, years have gone by, months have gone by, and they just sort of randomly fall out of the sky. And this is, this is an MO that they have, and you trust. You are probably not the first person that they've done this to. You will probably not be the last person that they do this to. And again, it's sort of this thing where they sort of fantasize about how things would go, and that you would be so surprised, you would be so overjoyed to see me, and then you're going to welcome me in. We're going to eat, drink, and maybe have sex on the floor or some crazy little fantasy like that. But, people that do this, again, I can't emphasize this enough, are impulsive. But again, the chance is highly likely that they've been monitoring you, surveilling you the whole entire time, and you don't know it. Even if this is especially true if this is someone that you were with and they ghosted you out of nowhere, or they appear to, not have an interest in you, right? Like, oh, I'm not interested, or, this and that. And they sort of maybe dismissed you or blew you off or were disrespectful. If somebody did that, they're mentally unstable. They are especially unhinged. Don't open that door, assert your boundaries, and tell them to get the hell on up out of there and get out of your doorstep, and don't ever come back or call the police if they do. Thanks so much.